The story begins with chaos. A merchant cart races down the road, pursued by monsters. The driver panics, shouting in disbelief as great ants suddenly appear in a place they should never be. One of the guards beside him yells for everyone to run, but before they can react, a raging rhino-like beast crashes into the cart from the side. The impact is devastating, leaving the victims with no chance to even comprehend what happened to them. On another day, we see a different cart traveling down a road. This time, our main character sits inside, quietly activating his skill, guidance. His eyes sharpen as he senses danger ahead. A herd of possessed rhinos is rampaging on the path. He immediately warns the driver, shouting that there is a group of great ants ahead. The journey will take longer, but they must detour to survive. A woman inside the cart breathes in relief, saying it's a good thing they hired him as their guide, especially since monsters have been appearing more frequently. The young man humbly thanks her, but he knows the truth of his ability. Guidance is a skill meant to ensure safe travel, keeping the coachman's path clear of danger. It prevents disaster before it even strikes. But the woman's husband scoffs, saying there's no need to thank someone like him. He mocks the idea of guidance, questioning whether there are even monsters ahead or if the guide is simply making things up. Our protagonist stays silent, thinking to himself that this is always the reaction, because his skill eliminates danger before it happens, people never realize its value. One of the soldiers riding along adds insult, sneering at him and calling his skill useless trash. In this world, only combat skills are respected. Adventurers who can fight monsters and bring back magic stones from dungeons are admired, envied, and treated with high status. Meanwhile, those with skills that lack offensive power are dismissed as worthless and treated like garbage. The cart finally reaches town. The woman gratefully offers him money, thanking him for bringing them back safely. But her husband slaps her hand away, knocking the coins to the ground. He angrily blames the guide, claiming his detour made them late, and because of that, their trading rivals got ahead of them. He even goes as far as to call the guide a con artist. Another soldier agrees, saying the payment should have gone to them instead. But their leader interrupts, telling them they're wrong. He explains that he checked the mountains using his bird's-eye skill, and there really was a massive herd blocking the route the guide avoided. If not for him, they wouldn't have made it here alive. He approaches the young man, introduces himself as Marcus, leader of the Steel Moon Party, and asks for his help. He wants the guide to join them in clearing a dungeon. The scene shifts to the two of them sharing tea in a restaurant. Marcus explains that many adventurers went to clear a new dungeon, the Labyrinth of Emerald Dunes, but none returned. The only clue was a message claiming they had found the legendary magic stone known as the Tears of Emerald Dune. Because no one came back, people now believe the dungeon is a death trap. Marcus tells him that this is where guidance comes in, if he can find a safe way back, the dungeon can be conquered. The young man is stunned, realizing the truth. With guidance, he might be the key to surviving the labyrinth. Marcus offers him 30 gold coins if they succeed. It's half a year's wages for his current work, more than enough to change his life and secure a better future for his younger sister. We then see a glimpse of his sister's struggles. She is slapped by a cruel woman who calls her a useless brat and threatens to sell her as a slave if they can't pay rent. The young man steps in, begging for mercy, but is only insulted further. He promises to pay back the debt and silently vows to protect his sister no matter what. The next day, he joins Marcus's party at the entrance of the dungeon. Marcus reassures him, telling him to stay behind if needed. Along with them is a lively girl in a purple hat who tags along, claiming she was recruited in town. As the party enters, the young man is mocked again for his useless skill, but Marcus defends him, saying guidance is essential for survival, especially when exiting the dungeon exhausted of mana and stamina. Deeper inside, they finally discover it, the Tears of Emerald Dune, glowing with immense mana. The group is in awe, dreaming of the wealth it could bring. But suddenly, guidance activates. The young man shouts for them to stop, warning that taking the stone will collapse their escape route. A girl wearing a brown hat suddenly steps forward, raising her hand toward the purple-haired mage in their group. With a flicker of light, she drains the girl's mana and transfers it to the others. The purple-haired mage staggers, shocked, while the others feel their energy return. Our main character immediately demands to know what she is doing. The girl calmly replies that this method will restore the mana everyone used up. Then, without hesitation, she channels even more of her own power, boosting the group's speed for the coming challenge. Marcus, the party leader, takes charge. He warns that the boost won't last long but insists it's the only way forward. From the reports he studied, he already knew this dungeon was filled with dangerous traps. Simply clearing it drains stamina and mana until no one can continue. That's why he made this plan, using a canary to detect the traps and a mana tank to refill their magic. With these two tools, he is confident they can push through to the end. But our main character explodes in anger. He realizes they deliberately dragged him into this, using his guidance skill as bait for traps. The purple-haired mage tries to speak up, but Marcus cuts her off sharply, saying he doesn't have time to waste. At his signal, the man wielding a heavy axe grabs the tier of emerald, shouting for the group to charge ahead. The jewel glows brightly in his hand as the others rally. But before they can act, another teammate urges caution, warning that their chance to move might not come again. Marcus ignores it, and the group sprints forward, leaving our main character and the purple-haired girl behind. The brown-hat girl smirks and calls Marcus a good actor. Just as our main character predicted, the path suddenly collapses behind them. Shocked, he cries out that the entrance has vanished. They are truly trapped. The purple-haired mage laughs bitterly, realizing their comrades really did abandon them without a second thought. Our hero clenches his fists, knowing escape is impossible. Thoughts of his sister Rona fill his mind as he desperately calls upon his skill. Please, he begs, show me the way to survive. Suddenly, guidance awakens in a way he has never seen before. Time itself seems to freeze, and his body glows with green mana. Behind the purple-haired girl, a radiant throne appears, shining ominously in the darkness. Confused, he turns toward it, and a new notification appears before his eyes. It commands him to destroy the throne and absorb the Obsidian Magic Stone resting there. He hesitates, stunned by the sight. When he and the girl approach, the black stone pulses with strange energy. She gasps, recognizing it as a magic stone, but not like any normal one. All magic stones are tied to the 5 great elements. A black stone should not even exist. Before they can comprehend its meaning, the dungeon shakes. A monstrous figure emerges, a green dragon with 3 glowing eyes. Its roar shakes the chamber, forcing both of them to cover their ears. Panic sets in. The girl urges that they must run, but the main character's eyes remain fixed on the black stone. The guidance skill repeats its order, destroy the throne and absorb the obsidian stone. His heart pounds. If there's even the slimmest chance, he must trust his skill. With trembling hands, he lifts the stone and swallows it whole. The girl screams at him in disbelief. The dragon lashes its tail, forcing them to dive back. Then, a flood of notifications erupts before his eyes. Obsidian Magic Stone absorbed. Evolution in progress. Restriction on guidance skill removed. His mind reels as the messages pile up, subsection procedure initiated, guidance evolving, limits breaking apart. For the first time, he sees the true form of his skill. The guidance he had always thought of as weak was shackled, hidden, incomplete. Now, with its restrictions gone, his eyes shine with new power. The green dragon snarls, advancing toward them. But this time, he does not waver. Clenching his fists, he declares with certainty that he trusts his skill. Guidance responds, its voice echoing within him, it will guide him through the subjugation procedure of the green dragon. With unwavering resolve, he shouts that he will survive, that no matter what, he will make it back alive.